we are doing an entire card review of the Lost City of Un'Goro with our special guest, the Toucher.
Hi, everyone.
We will be going over all 145 brand new cards coming out on July 8th, starting
It's going
with
to be fun.
Rogue. 2 mana, 2/3, Eyes in the Sky, Battle Cry. Look at 3 cards in your enemy's deck. Pick one to put on top.
This is like one of those flavor cards for me. I don't think it'll actually see play, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is definitely a cool disruption card. I don't know. We don't usually see tech cards as main cards, but it will definitely be something that people who enjoy tech cards and disruption will play.
Yeah, it's not proactive enough, I think.
I agree. 3 mana shadow spell, Ambush Predators. Summon a 1/1 spitter with stealth and poisonous. Kindred, do it again. I just want to point out Kindred is a new keyword this expansion. It's a bonus that if you played the same minion type or spell school the last turn, then it activates. So since this is a shadow spell, if you played a shadow spell the previous turn, then the Kindred would cast this again.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time Rogue spent 3 mana on a card.
Well, I mean, it would only get played if it were 1 mana, but I feel like Prep has got a lot of other good targets.
Yeah, I'm not too convinced on the whole Rogue set this expansion. Like some of the cards just seem like not very roguey. Like usually Rogue likes to play their whole deck by turn 5 and win the game, and it doesn't really hit that flavor this expansion.
I agree. It is cute though. Look at this cute little venomous spitter. So this is what gets summoned. The venomous spitter is a 2 mana 1/1 beast with stealth and poisonous, and it's got strong Jurassic Park vibes.
I was just gonna say, it reminds me of that little dinosaur from Jurassic Park, the
Yeah.
original one.
4 mana 5/4 Neferset Weaponsmith. Battlecry, get a random weapon from another class. Combo, give it 2 attack.
Oh, there's so many weapons out there. You could hit something really good or hit a complete dud. It's almost too much randomness for what players are trying to go for, I think.
I agree. It might seem more playing wild than it does in standard.
Yeah.
6 mana, 6/4 legendary minion, Opu the Unseen. Battlecry, combo, and Death Rattle. Cast Fan of Knives. And just so everyone remembers, Fan of Knives costs 2 mana. So the Battlecry combo and Death Rattle, you're basically getting 3 Fan of Knives for the regular 6 mana, but now it's also a 6/4 body.
Yeah, when I first saw this card, I was like, seems a little expensive, and then I kind of watched a bit of it in 3 crafting, and it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, this draws 3 cards, this does a bunch of damage to board, this has a body on it, like it does a lot of things, so I think it's gonna see play.
I agree. It feels a little bit large and clunky for a rogue, but it is a very good value, and rogue loves value cards. 7 mana, 5/5 Underbrush Tracker. Rush costs 1 less for each time you've shuffled cards into your deck.
Now, this is kind of tied to the quest that we're going to review. But like I think this will be this reminds me of like all the other rogue cards where you have a 5/5 rusher, like the one from
Like the Knoll.
there's one from yeah, the Knoll. There was the guy with the beard. I forget the name of that card, but it was a 5/5 rush that like
the
cost
Mage.
1 less.
There is a mini Mage.
Yeah, it was like cost 1 less for every card you play this turn or something like that.
Yeah.
And like every time Rogue has had a card like this, it has been included in all of their decks. So like I think Rogue is if Rogue can find a way to do the whole card shuffling thing, to link, which is part of the quest, I think this will be a good card to play.
I agree. 1 mana, 1/2 Merchant of Legend. Battlecry, discover a legendary minion. Shuffle the other 2 into your deck.
Oh man, this could go either way for me because like you don't typically like as a rogue you don't want to have like dead draws, so it's very dependent on the legendaries that you are offered on the discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if they're good, this could be a great card because it's cheap too. It's only 1 mana, like so you just play this on turn 1 or like anywhere you can find a mana to stick in. Like I think this could go either way. This is either going to be really good or just really underwhelming.
I think this is great because it synergizes well with the quest. So I think this will find its way into all the quest rogue decks. And it also
Yeah.
discounts the rush minion we just saw twice.
Oh my goodness! I just realized that the rush minion. I thought it was like shuffle cards this turn because that's
No.
usually how it goes. No, it's yeah. Well, yeah. This card is going to be 0 mana by turn 3. I think. Yeah, I think this will. Yeah, this I'm warming up to this more and more the more.
1 mana spell knockback. Deal 1 damage to a minion, improved for each time you shuffled cards into your deck.
Oh, if this went face, it would be a 5-star card.
Right?
But if yeah, like I don't think it's going to be included just for that fact because deal damage to a minion. Like there's cards in the game right now, like a shield slam in warrior isn't even included in some warrior decks these days.
It is a very cheap clear, but it can't target a lot. Like, I found that when I used this during theory crafting, by the time it was large enough to get rid of a large minion, the large minion that I wanted to get rid of wasn't targetable. So I agree. If this could go face, 5-star, but then it probably wouldn't be written the way it is.
Yep.
2 mana spell interrogation. Shuffle 3/3 ninjas with stealth into your deck that are summoned with when drawn. And the Tortolan ninjas are 3 mana 3/3 minions summoned with when drawn with stealth.
So I think this is going to be good. Like this reminds me of some of the cycle rogue decks that we see currently, where they shuffle asteroids into the deck, and you
Mm-hmm.
just draw your old deck and get the asteroids out. I think if this whole shuffling quest thing can kind of find its way into a cycle rogue deck, you could end up with just like waves of 3/3s on your board every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because these turtles, they when they die, they go back into the deck. They don't
After
die,
you've
right? They
played the
always
quest, after you've
yep.
completed the quest. Before then,
Oh,
they don't have that death rattle.
I see. Okay.
But
Yeah,
again, this is shuffle 3/3/3s, so that's a 3 mana discount. This is shuffle 2, so that's a 2 mana discount. So if you play Merchant of Legend on 1 and you play Interrogation on 2, you've already reduced the cost of Underbrush Tracker by 5. So it's already a 2 mana 5/5. So yeah, I think it'll be very easy to get that out early.
yeah, I'm excited for this.
And then here's the quest that we're talking about. This is 1 mana quest, legendary, Lie in Wait. Quest is shuffle cards into your deck 5 times. Reward is Master Dusk. Here's what Master Dusk looks like. 5 mana hero card. You get 5 armor. Battle cry, summon 2/3/3 ninjas with stealth. Your ninjas now shuffle back into your deck when they die. So that this is what gives the Tortola Ninja Turtles their death rattle.
Yeah, like 5 times is not a lot. Like I think that this quest reward is going to get played on turn 5 pretty consistently, and then you have these turtles cycling in and out of your deck for the rest of the game. I think it's a good card. I think it'll see lots of play.
I agree. 6 mana, 5/7 legendary, Nabula the Watcher. Battle cry, summon copies of your damaged minions. Give the copies rush.
I think this will be a good card in conjunction with the weapon that warrior gets this expansion.
So yes, Nebula is the first warrior legendary.
Like I think this will be good in conjunction with the warrior weapon that we're going to review.
Okay.
Because the warrior weapon, when you swing it, it does 1 damage to all minions. So you could preload the weapon, and then when on the turn that you play this card, you just take a swing, damage your minions, and all of a sudden you have doubled up. Which I think should be really good because typically warrior doesn't really play small minions; it's usually pretty big minions. So you could end up with a nice big board pretty easily.
Yep. And imagine if you had like a damaged Tortola on board and then you get another one.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that's
Pretty
pretty
juicy.
disgusting. Yeah, pretty juicy.
Because that card usually sticks around a couple turns.
Yeah.
2 mana, 1/4 Stone Carver. At the end of your turn, give a random friendly damaged minion +2/+2.
Yeah, I think it'll see play. It depends on, like, you have to obviously have damaged minions, but I'm thinking about there's the one card in Rogue that gives like +1/+2 for another minion, and that one is pretty consistent in some of the aggressive priest decks. I forget the name of it, but it's like +1/+2 for each turn at the end of your turn or something like that. So the cards like this do see play. It'd be
Shadow
interesting to
Ascendant,
see how.
maybe?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I think this could see play. I haven't seen it played yet, but I think we will see it, especially as we see more injury warriors.
I do like how recent expansions have been printing cards that can go into wild decks too. Like this one, like you throw this in a risky skipper deck, and I think it'll be really really good.
4 mana spell City Defenses. Summon 2/06 security with taunt. They gain +1 attack when damaged. Steadfast Security is a 2 mana 0/6 taunt. After this takes damage, gain 1 attack.
When I first saw this card, I wasn't too convinced on it, but then watching it in theory crafting, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this thing is actually really good.
Same, yeah. I saw 2 mana 0/6 and thought, eh. But when it gets damaged, it is pretty juicy, which synergizes well with the weapon.
Yeah.
4 mana spell Shellnado. Spend up to 5 armor for each spent. Deal 1 damage to all minions.
So this actually works really well with the city defenses too.
Uh-huh.
I think I saw a game during theory crafting where someone got lethal this way, where they had the city defenses up, played Shellnado, and bumped up their attack 5 times to get lethal. So I like it. Shellnado is probably honestly the best card in the set for me for warrior, because like they've been lacking for like this like removal for a while. Like ever
Uh-huh.
since that one forged card got
Sanitize.
rotated. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like the best card for warrior for a long time. And when that thing disappeared, it seems like warrior didn't really have an answer for
Yeah.
the first expansion this year, and this I think will fix that.
I agree. Warrior has needed a card like this for a while. 3 mana 3/3 Latorvian Armorer. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to an enemy minion. If it dies, gain 5 armor.
Yeah, I like it. I would give it a shot in decks. Like a 3 mana 3/3. Like we've seen those. Like those are pretty playable most of the time, especially in warrior, and it's proactive too. Like it does a couple of damage. Um, you probably might not get the armor very consistently, but this doesn't seem like a bad card to me.
I'm going to say that you could probably get the armor pretty consistently as long as you draw it early, because there are going to be so many aggro decks that we're going to see, like Demon Hunter, Paladin, Druid. I feel like those are matchups where you're going to be able to get that 5 armor.
It's actually a shame that it says enemy minion, because I would almost consider using something like this on my own minions depending on the context.
Yeah, like to damage one of your city guards or get armor off of your own Tortola, that kind of thing.
Yep.
8 mana, 6/6 dragon, Wind Peak Worm, Battlecry, deal 5 damage and gain 5 armor. Kindred costs 3 less. So since this is a dragon, if you played a dragon the previous turn, it would cost 3 less.
Yeah, I think it'll see play. Like there was a card a few expansions ago. It was 8 mana, draw a card or deal 8 damage, gain 8 armor or something like that, and that saw play. Like this is similar to that. I think it'll
in
slot
Sunken
in.
City?
Yeah, that's the one. And yeah, I think this will see play, especially if you can get the discount on it. Like if you play this for 5 mana on turn 5, like that's pretty big.
3 mana spell, Fortify. Gain 3 armor, deal damage equal to your armor to an enemy minion.
Yeah, I think it's a solid card. It's like Bash. It reminds me of Bash, which sees a lot of play. I think this will see play too.
I think so too. And the fact that you gain 3 and then deal the damage is just really good because you pair this with like, what's the 2 mana spell? Draw a card, gain 5.
Oh, shield something.
Yeah, you play shield block on 2. You play fortify on 3. You're already able to do 8 damage to something. So this kind of enables dirty rat meta again. You have a very early answer to something with a lot of health that might be a key piece in someone's deck. All right, that was our last warrior card. No, it was not. That was weird. Story of Sulfuras, 5 mana fire spell. It's a fire spell. Swap your hero power to deal 8 damage to a random enemy. After 2 uses, swap it back. And here's what that hero power looks like. Die, insect. Deal 8 damage to a random enemy. 2 uses left.
Yeah, definite Ragnaros vibes on this one.
Yeah.
I don't like the random kind of doesn't have me convinced, but like 8 damage if you can line it up so it does go face, like that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, like if you had a brawl, a shield slam, and this, but that's a lot of ifs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much we'll see that. Here's the weapon we were talking about earlier. 3 mana, 2/2, Axe of the Forefathers. After your hero attacks, deal 1 damage to all minions.
Yeah, so this is basically a 3 damage weapon to a minion because you got the 2 damage coming from the axe initially plus the extra 1 after the fact. I think it'll see play. It works well with a lot of the other cards in this expansion, so I think it'll be good.
And then here is the Warrior Quest. 1 mana legendary. Enter the Lost City. Quest, survive 10 turns. Reward, Latorvius, Gaze of the City. Here are all the rewards. Barnabas the Stomper, 5 mana, 8/8 beast. Battlecry, reduce the cost of minions in your deck to 0. Time Warper, 5 mana arcane spell, take an extra turn once per game. Crystal Core, 5 mana spell. For the rest of the game, your minions are 5/5. Queen Carnassa, 5 mana, 8/8 beast. Rush, Battlecry, shuffle 20 raptors into your deck. And remember that the raptors draw cards for you. Sulfuras, 3 mana, 4/2 weapon. Battlecry, your hero power becomes deal 8 damage to a random enemy. Megafin, 5 mana, 8/8 Murloc. Battlecry, fill your hand with random Murlocs. This is the Sulfuras hero power, deal 8 to a random enemy. Nether Portal, 5 mana shadow spell. Open a permanent portal that summons 3/2 imps. Galvadon, 5 mana, 8/8 beast. Battlecry, adapt 5 times. Amara, Warden of Hope, 5 mana, 8/8 taunt. Battle Cry, set your hero's health to 40. Carnassa's Brood, these are the little beasts that Carnassa shuffles. 1 mana, 3/2 beast, battle draw a card. Nether Portal is the portal that at the end of your turn summons 2/3/2 imps. These are the 3/2 imps. They're 2 mana, 3/2 demons. And then Latorvius, Gaze of the City, Battle Cry, get 2 random Journey to Un'Goro quest rewards. Shuffle the rest into your deck. Like, this is so epic, and all you have to do is survive 10 turns.
Control Warrior is back. This is one of the decks I'm actually really excited to try out on day one is a Control Warrior deck.
It was a lot of fun. It takes a long time to complete. It's definitely a control deck. But I just want to point out that Amara is a taunt. So if you play the 2 mana spell that draws taunts from your deck, you can emergency draw Amara after you've shuffled the quest reward, which happened to me. I think one game I was pretty low on health. We were like certainly going to lose the next turn, and then we played the 2 mana spell, drew Amara, she's a taunt, played her, back to 40, back in it, and then you have so many other good quest rewards to help you win the game.
I love it.
Absolutely nuts. Moving on to Priest. 3 mana, 1/6 legendary beast. Archaeos. Whenever another friendly minion attacks, set its health equal to this minion's health.
Yeah, this is one of those cards. If you can get it down on turn 3, like if you're playing like an aggro priest deck, and this comes down on turn 3, like your minions are basically unkillable.
Yeah, you know, I think this is one of the sleeper cards. People look at it, they're like, it's a 1 attack, like 6 health minion. But we've had such good aggro priest decks recently. Imagine if you have the 3 mana, the 1 mana 3/3 healer, Draenei healer on 1. And then you have like the 1 mana 2/4 undead that does damage to you on 2, plus like a 1 mana 3/3 fish. Then you attack, then you play Archaeos on 3, and all of a sudden you have, instead of a 3/3, you have a 3/6. Instead of a 2/4, you have a 2/6. Instead of a 3/3, you have a 3/6. Now those aggro, really cheap aggro minions are so difficult to pick off. I think this will find its way into all the aggro priest decks.
I 100% agree.
7 mana, 7/7 elemental, Wilted Shadow, lifesteal. Whenever you heal an enemy, this attacks it. So this can go face.
So you could use your priest hero power to target face, and this thing comes after it. This seems a little slow. That like 7 mana is a lot for something like this.
It is a lot, but it's really good for OTK decks, and it ignores taunts.
Oh yeah, I guess it would ignore taunts, would it?
So if you're planning on playing Priest Quest, or even if you just want to play like a Holy Priest deck, control deck, this is almost like an auto include to me, because this is the end of game winner. Like if you can just hold out until you have enough mana for the 7 cost card, plus a heal, plus a 1 cost healing spell that can go face on your opponent. And if you can buff this, then you're in a really good spot for an OTK.
That intrigues me. I want to see something like that happen, because I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I've gone face with this, and I've won with this, and it was disgusting, and I think it will get nerfed. So that's my prediction.
Oh, I'm intrigued now. I wouldn't have expected that.
Check my YouTube channel. It's
go
it's
right
so
now.
gross. 10 mana spell, Story of Amara. Set your hero's health to 40.
I don't think you're including this in your deck for a 10 mana. Well, maybe with like the legendary minion Elise. This might be a card to include to activate your Elise. But other than that, I wouldn't really include it in a deck.
Yeah, it does seem expensive, but it is good with Elise deck. Although, if you're not planning on running Elise and you don't need a card of every cost, then I think you could possibly discover this off of Priest Imbue.
Yeah, it'd be a great card to discover off the Imbue hero power.
Kind of gross.
Especially if it's like deeply discounted. If you just hit the hero power button for 2 and then this thing's 0, well, that's a good card to discover off of it.
Completely agree. Here we have the Priest Quest, 1 mana legendary, reach equilibrium. Quest, cast 5 holy spells, reward life's breath. Quest, cast 5 shadow spells, reward death's touch. And I just want to point out, even though they're listed in sequence, they don't have to be completed in that order. When you cast reach equilibrium, it casts both quests separately. So you can work on completing both simultaneously. And then here we have related cards. Cleanse the Shadow is cast 5 holy, reward life's breath. And we have Soledos, Life's Breath, Taunt, Battle Cry. It's a 5 mana 4/4 elemental. Summon a copy of this if you're holding both halves of Soledos combine. Then we have Corrupt the Light is the other quest, which is cast 5 shadow. Reward is Death's Touch. Here's Soledos, Death's Touch. 5 mana 4/4 elemental. Reborn, Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to a random enemy if you're holding both halves combine. And then here's what Soledos looks like if you're holding both halves and combine. It's a 5 mana 8/8 elemental with Taunt and Reborn. Battle Cry, summon a copy of this. Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to a random enemy.
I like it. It's one of those things that you're going to do anyways during the course of a game. Play some shadow spells, play some holy spells. So you just throw this down on turn 1 and just go about your game, and you get rewarded with a nice shiny minion.
And it's not something that's going to necessarily win the game for you, but it is a taunt. It does have Reborn. It does do damage. So it seems like an auto include as long as you have it.
Yep, I like it.
5 mana shadow spell, Resuscitate. Resurrect a 1, 2, and 3 cost minion. Give them Reborn.
This would be really good with some Death Rattle synergies. I feel like we're going to have some Death Rattle synergies.
Yeah, and this is, even if you're just playing like aggro, you have a lot of 1, 2, and 3 cost minions. So this could be like late game, running out of minions, need more minions, and they have Reborn. Not bad for that either.
Yep.
Kind of good late game insurance, because usually the problem with most aggro decks is they run out of steam. So as long as you don't accidentally draw out early, that could be really good. 6 mana 4/7 Naga, Glade Song Siren. Lifesteal, cost 1 if you've played a holy and shadow spell this turn.
So you don't have to wait till turn 6 to play this one. That's how I'm reading this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be good.
1 mana 2/1 Glade Ecologist. Death Rattle, get a 1 cost holy spell that gives a minion +2 or -2 health. And here's the related card. Purifying Vines, 1 mana holy spell, choose a minion. If it's friendly, give it +2 health. If it's an enemy, give it -2 health.
I'm just looking back at the cards here. So this is a card that you could get off Resuscitate.
Uh-huh.
And Archaeos is probably another card you can get off of Resuscitate as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you play Resuscitate, you get your Archaeos back. You get some of these spells that increase the health of your Archaeos, and you could snowball pretty quickly, I would think.
Mm-hmm. And this is also because it's giving you a holy spell and it's inexpensive. It's basically like including a holy spell for your quest priest as a minion.
Yep.
And notice it's not giving like healing to or damaging to. It's literally giving something -2 health. So that's helpful in removing obstacles that your enemy puts on the board.
Yep, I like it.
3 mana, 3/4 Twilight Mender. Death Rattle, get a random holy and shadow spell.
This is just one of those cards that you include to help complete your quest.
Yep. Good value. You're basically getting 2 deck slots for the price of one and a body. And it has good stats. So auto include in Quest Priest.
And a great card to get revived off of your Resuscitate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both Glade Ecologist and Twilight Mender would be excellent to get back. 4 mana shadow spell, Grave Dawn Void Bulb. Summon a random 4-drop and give it taunt. Kindred, do it again. So because this is Kindred, if you played a shadow spell the turn before, you would summon actually 2 random 4-cost minions and give them taunt.
That's really good if you can get the Kindred going on it. If not, it's meh. It's okay, but yeah, if you have the Kindred synergies, this is a great card to play on turn 4.
4 mana holy spell, Grave Dawn Sunbloom. Draw 2 cards. Kindred, this costs 2 less. So if you played a holy spell the turn before, you would get to draw 2 cards for 2 mana.
I feel so sorry for Arcane Intellect. It gets
power creep
all the time. Oh my god, that poor card.
Those are all of our priest cards. Moving on to Death Knight. 4 mana Frost Unholy spell, Wave of Tar. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Enemy minions cost 2 more next turn.
So I like this card except for the rune requirement, because this you cannot play with your quest.
The quest is Double Blood Unholy. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so it's a shame that they print this card in the same expansion that they release a quest, but you cannot play it with the quest.
Yeah, I think if the quest were not so good that we would see this played more, but I agree with you. We're probably going to see a lot of quest, so even though this is a really good value, we probably won't see it played much.
Yep.
4 mana, Double Frost spell, Cryo Sleep. Deal 4 damage and draw a card. Kindred, draw another. So if you played a Frost spell the previous turn, you would get to deal 4 damage and draw 2 cards for 4 mana.
Yeah, this is a really good card, especially like Frost decks are typically aggro. If you and Frost decks usually also lack card draw, so this kind of addresses some of the issues of Frost decks. But again, too, like you're not playing this with your quest. It's kind of a shame that
they know that people are going to be mad about it, because did you see the flavor text? You mad? Cry about it. Yeah, I agree with you. This will be an auto include in Frost DK, but unfortunately you cannot play with Quest. 4 mana Frost Unholy, 3/4 Undead Beast, Dread Raptor. Battlecry, draw a Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less. Kindred, it costs 0.
Yeah, someone out there is going to find a Frost deck that's really good, and this is going to be one of those cards that includes it, that gets included in it.
6 mana Double Frost, 6/3 Undead Beast, Bone Chill Stegodon. Death Rattle, deal 6 damage to 3 random enemies. So this could go face.
Yeah, I like the card. It's It's not very proactive though, because it's not like a battle cry. It's a death rattle.
Mm-hmm.
It can be silenced or just avoided for a period of time. So like it's not it's not doing a lot for what a 6-mana card can do.
Yeah, seems a little bit clunky. And also, I feel like, again, we're going to be seeing a lot of people playing the quest. Can't play that with a quest. It'll find a home somewhere. I'm just not sure how popular it will be. 1 mana double frost spell, Crypt Map. Discover a frost rune card. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others.
Yep, I like it. It's cheap discover option. You get to get a second card if you're able to play the first. That's one thing I've noticed about the pre-release brawl is there's a lot of these cards where you discover and then get the second one if you play the first one. Like there's another card in Paladin that does the same thing, and like honestly, you just you choose the card that is the cheapest just to play it, and then you get one of the other ones to play later instead of just picking one of the ones to play later. I think this is a great mechanic.
I think that might be the mechanic of all of the map cards, because I believe every class has a map.
Yeah, they're great. I like the map cards.
5 mana 4/3 Undead Beast, Reanimated Pterodax. Rush, Lifesteal costs corpses instead of mana.
Great card. I love it. It's free. It's a free rush lifesteal. It's it's gonna see a home in a lot of decks.
I agree. I feel like this is going to be one of the most played cards for Death Knight.
I think it's the best Death Knight card this expansion.
3 mana 1/1 Reluctant Wrangler, Reborn Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 Undead Beast with Taunt. Here's the 2 mana 2/2 Undead Beast with Taunt, Reanimated Osidon. How cute is that?
Yeah, I like this. This is a lot of corpses for one card because it's what 1, 2, 3, four bodies in one. I like it.
Oh yeah, because the Reborn isn't just the taunt. That is fantastic. So this is a great way of getting ready for your early reanimated Pterodax.
Yep. So you got a couple of 1/1s with the death rattle, and then you got the death rattles. So yeah, it's awesome.
8 mana 8/8 High Cultist Haren. Battlecry, summon 2 death rattle minions from your deck. They fight.
I think this card is going to find a home in a later expansion. They're gonna print some death rattle cards that are gonna be awesome, and this will be a great way to get them out cheap.
I think this is going to be great and wild right now, but I feel like there aren't a ton of death rattle cards that Death Knight wants to immediately die, unless it's like Starship DK, and I'm kind of hoping we're past that.
I played a Starship DK game last night that took over an hour.
Oh
And
no!
it was like the Kill Jaden portals got up to +30. Like it was I'm just like end it. Please let me go home. Let me go home to my family. Please
Oh
release me.
yeah, remember when people didn't like priest matchups? It's like now there's matchups like that basically in every class because of starships and Kill Jaden.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like this could be a fantastic card, but I'm not sure how much we'll see it played yet. Just because yeah, there's not too much that you want coming out and either getting damaged or dying right away.
Yep, I agree.
Here is the new Death Knight quest: 1 mana, double blood, unholy. Legendary. Reanimate the Terror. Quest, spend 18 corpses, reward Tyrax Bone Terror. Here's Tyrax Bone Terror, 5 mana, 8/8 Undead Beast. Death Rattle, open Terror's Grave. It has Death Rattle resummon Tyrax. Here's Terror's Grave, 5 mana, 2 durability location. Deal 4 damage, Death Rattle, resummon Tyrax Bone Terror.
So if I'm reading this right, it just keeps coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right?
Well, yeah, because this has 2 durability, so you get it a couple times.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
So during theory crafting, this was the most difficult quest for me to get off the ground, just because you think, oh, spend 18 corpses, that's not too much. But, you know, if you want to stay alive, it is. And then the other part of it is that there are so many good Death Knight cards right now for early game that I was accidentally winning before I even got the quest reward. So I like the idea of a quest where you are doing something that you would do anyway. Death Knight's always spending corpses. But like this, you get this so late that you've probably already won. So this is, I feel like, not a must have, but it's a nice to have as like a secondary or tertiary win con for when you're in like more control matchups.
Yep, I like it. It's a fun card to play on turn 1.
Super fun card. 3 mana, unholy shadow spell, Paleomancy. Discover an undead, spend 5 corpses to keep all 3 instead.
3 mana discover 3 is not a bad thing. I like it.
And the fact that it's 1 slot in your deck and you get 3 cards. Super good. Super good value.
Yep.
Moving on to Paladin. Probably crowd favorite right now as of Brawlysium and Theory Crafting. 2 mana spell, Story of Galvadon. Give a minion 3 random bonus effects.
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of the Brawl with the Paladin, and this is going to be a very fun deck. I am really looking forward to playing some of the Murloc Paladin out there.
I agree. I feel like Murloc Paladin's really strong. I've seen some people play Story of Galvadon. I don't know how good it's been because they haven't won. But we'll see how it is like out in the wild when we don't have like the deck restrictions from Theory Crafting and Brawlysium.
Yeah, I found so like whenever I included Story of Galvadon in my decks, I opted to try and not keep the next card, Violet Treasure Gill, in my opening hand, because the 3 bonus effects on like a 1/2 at the start of the game isn't that great. But if you can play your Treasure Gill later on when it's boosted by the quest, all of a sudden you get those 3 extra bonus effects on it, and it becomes really good.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's good later. I saw someone play it on a 1/1 and I was sad. 2 mana, 1/2 Murloc, Violet Treasure Gill. Battlecry, cast a random spell from your deck that costs 2 or less. Targets this if possible. 3 words.
Yes.
Hand of a doll.
Oh yeah, Hand of a Doll. If it casts, but then again, if this thing casts Story of Galvadon, it feels really bad.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Hand of a Doll. That's if you can hit that off of this, you got a 3/3 on turn 2, plus draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of like draw 2 cards, right? Because it pulls the Hand of a Doll from your deck, and then the Hand of a Doll pulls another card from your deck. So it's kind of like 2 mana, draw 2 with the body. That's a 3/3.
And this is also good later in the game with Treasure Map. And we'll see that card in just a minute. 5 mana Holy Spell, Thresh Rider's Blessing. Give a friendly minion +4/+4 and Death Rattle, summon a random 4-cost minion.
It's kind of funny because like this thing doesn't say Murloc, so it's probably not getting played this expansion.
Yeah, I feel like this might see more play in Wild.
Yeah.
4 mana, 2/5 beast, creature of the sacred cave. At the end of your turn, recast a random holy spell you cast this turn. Targets this if possible.
Yeah, I think this will be a fun card that'll find a home in a fun deck at some point, but it does not say Murloc on it.
Yeah, same. I mean,
Yeah.
like, how well would that synergize with Thresh Rider's Blessing? But again, I don't think that's something we're going to see early on in the expansion release.
Like, my goodness, if that said Murloc instead of Beast,
Right?
yeah,
4 mana, 2/7 legendary Ido of the Thresh Fleet. While this is alive, you get a 2-cost holy spell that gives a minion +2/+2 and Divine Shield. Related card, 2 mana holy spell, call the Thresh Fleet. Give a minion +2/+2 and Divine Shield. This stays in your hand while Ido is alive.
Okay, so it's like an active aura,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like at the beginning of turn or end of turn. So it's like as soon as while this thing is on the board, you
Mm-hmm.
have this spell in your hand to do whatever you please with. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's kind of
What's
neat.
not clear yet is whether it's repeatable in one turn, or if it's a once per turn spell.
No, I think it's repeatable. It's like one of those ones that's like always in your hand, and then you
Okay.
cast it, and it stays in your hand. Kind of like not a
So
temporary
not like
card, but
Mirage. Because that's always
it's
in your hand, but it can only be used once per turn.
right. Yeah, but there's other cards that that I'm thinking of that you cast it or you play it and it still stays there, like Snip Snap. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
So I think like if you play this on 4, and then on turn 5 you can cast it twice. Turn 6 you can cast it 3 times, and keep going and going with it.
3 mana, 2/4 Murloc, Hot Spring Glider. Battlecry, your next Murloc costs 2 less, Kindred, and gains Divine Shield. So if you played a Murloc the previous turn, you also give the next Murloc you play Divine Shield in addition to it costing 2 less.
Yeah, playing this on turn 3 followed by Tyrannogill on turn 4 is such a feel-good play. It's awesome.
Yeah. Auto include for Murloc Paladin. 3 mana spell, Ready the Fleet. Give 1/2 to a friendly minion and your other minions that share a type with it.
Oh, could you imagine if this was 2 mana and play it with Violet Treasuregill?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Oh,
Because it's
that's
3 mana,
probably
I don't know if we're going to see it. And it's also not
yeah.
holy, so it doesn't synergize with the legendary or the other minion that we just saw. It doesn't synergize with creature of the sacred cave. So I don't know.
That's probably the reason they made it 3 mana instead of 2 mana.
Yeah.
Because yeah, if this was 2 mana, I would include it in my Murloc deck, and all of a sudden you're boosting like your whole board of Murlocs +1/+2.
But with the quest, it's kind of like, we're going to get that with the quest anyway, include more minions.
Yep.
1 mana spell, Submerged Map. Discover a Murloc. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others.
Yeah, this is a great card to reload your hand. You cast it or let your Violet Treasuregill cast it, and you pick the cheap one, and you get to keep one of the more expensive ones to play later. I really like this map mechanic.
I do too. And I just want to point out, it says discover a Murloc, not from your deck. So this could be any Murloc, but it seems as though it offers you Paladin Murlocs, which is kind of a smaller Murloc pool, which makes it even better because then you're more likely to discover this giant 6 mana, 6/3 Murloc Beast, Tyrannogill. Rush, Death Rattle, summon 3 2/1 Murlocs. Give them each a random bonus effect. Related cards are 2 mana, 2/1 Murloc, Dino Lock. Oh, they're all Dino-Lock, but they have different skins. So this is a little Dino-Lock holding, what is that? A microphone? There's a little Dino-Lock with a tail. And there's a little Dino-Lock with. They're all different. They're all cute. They're all different. But yeah,
I like.
summons 3.
Yeah, this works well with your quest too, because when this thing dies, all 3 of the Murlocs that summon from it go towards your quest progression. So like this is checking a lot of boxes.
Does this have the little Murlocs in it? Okay, look, there's a little green Murloc coming out of the dino's mouth, and there's a little blue Murloc coming out of their collarbone. Wait, if we look at the tiny Murlocs, oh look, this is the Murloc it's a costume. It's not actually a beast. It's 3 little Murlocs in a beast costume. So this was the Murloc that's the head, and then the tail, and then the arms, I guess. That's funny. Oh, there's something fishy about that dinosaur. There is. All right,
That's fun.
GG on the artwork.
Yeah.
1 mana legendary spell. This is the new quest. Dive the Galaka Depths. Repeatable quest. Summon 5 Murlocs. Reward. Murlocs you summon gain 1/1. So because this is repeatable, after you complete the quest once, your Murlocs summoned after completion gain 1/1. After you complete the quest twice, Murloc summoned after that will gain 2/2, etc. It's very easy to scale. And I just want to point out that it says summon, not play. So you could play like Mermy, and when it is reborn, that counts as another summon.
I just want to go on record saying how much of a crime it is that McGurgle is not in the core set.
I know.
Because that would be so much fun to
Yes.
have that.
Yes.
Oh.
McGurgle. One of the best Murlocs ever. But we do have Grunty. And we have Mermy.
I guess we have Grunty.
And we have Tyrannogill. We have Hot Spring Glider. We have Treasuregill. We have a lot of juicy Murlocs to play with this.
Yeah, but I want McGurgle.
I feel like this is going to be. It has been a crowd favorite during Brawlicium, and I feel like it's going to be a crowd favorite at the start of the expansion because it's just so OP. How many weeks do you give this before it gets changed?
Oh, they're gonna cap it or something, or like be like summon 6 or 7 Murlocs before you get the bump.
I think it might become like summon 6, but we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully longer than Shock Spitter.
Yep.
Speaking of Shock Spitter, moving on to Hunter. 3 mana 2/5 legendary Neri of the Crater. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, double its stats. Whenever you cast a 1-cost spell, cast it twice.
Someone's gonna find a combo with this card, and it's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of low-key OP for like aggro hunter.
Which... Yeah, like if you use your if you play Grifta and get the 6 damage, like the 1 mana 6 damage spell, you play that spell with this Neri, and that's 12 damage phase.
And you play like your 1 mana 3/3 fish. Now it's a 6/6. Like there are so many like really cheap beasts.
Yep.
Like the new we'll see in neutrals. I think it's a neutral. There's a 1 mana 1/2 like Pterodax that you think, oh, like draw a card, discard it on death rattle. I don't want to do that. But if you're playing an aggro deck, chances are you're going to have the mana to play it right away. So this will be great with stuff like that.
And this is the stats are good. Like if you play this on turn 3 and it sticks, like you can do a lot of stuff on turn 4. And it's also it can be a late game thing too, right? Like you play it later on and play a bunch of stuff on the same turn as it. Like it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
1 mana spell, Odd Map. Discover an odd attack beast. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others.
Yeah, this map mechanic, it's really good. I think it'll be a lot of fun for all the classes.
I agree. 2 mana spell, Cower in Fear. Deal 3 damage to a minion. The next beast you play this turn costs 2 less.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. It's basically free. If you're planning on playing a beast on the same turn, you just play this. Your beast gets discounted by the 2 mana that this thing costs.
Mm.
It's a shame it's just deal 3 damage to a minion. It'd be a lot better if that could go face, but like I still feel like this will find a home in some decks.
I feel like this is going to be an auto include for any beast hunter because it's basically a free deal 3 damage.
Yep.
2 mana 2/3 Dino Sitter. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a random beast in your hand by 1.
Yeah, this is one of those cards where you stick it on turn 2 and it's like a must kill for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it'll see a lot of play.
I agree. I think this will be really good in Imbue Hunter as well. Because you're going to throw down Dino Sitter and then throw down a couple imbues and be able to play extra discounted large beasts. 3 mana 0/5 beast, Grazing Stegodon. At the end of your turn, gain +1 attack even while in hand or deck.
So when you play this on turn 3, this is a 3/5. If you play this on turn 4, it's a 4/5. That's how I'm reading this.
Mm-hmm.
That seems really good.
Oh wait, at the end of your turn. So at the end of your turn 1, it would be a 1/5. The end of your turn 2 would be a 2/5. End of turn 3, yeah. So yep, it would be a 3/5 at the end of your turn 3. Yeah, what's so good about it is that there are so many cheap cards that feel bad playing late in the game. This will still feel good playing late game because it's going to have so much attack.
Yep, I like it. And like just stats wise, like it coming out on turn 3, like that's overly statted for a 3 mana card.
I agree. 6 mana 7/5 beast, Terrawing Ravager. Rush, Kindred costs 2 less. So if you played a beast the previous turn, this is only going to cost 4.
Yeah, so like a 4 mana 7/5 with Rush feels really good.
Mm-hmm. Very proactive.
Yep, I like it.
Or should I say terror active? Oh, that was bad. 5 mana spell, Supreme Dinomancy. Give +2/+2 to all beasts in your hand, deck, and battlefield.
Arbor up, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that card, Arbor up. Oh, I'm so glad that's in Wild.
Well, now you get to love this instead.
Yep.
1 mana legendary quest, The Food Chain. Quest. Play a 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack beast. Reward Shock. Shock Jungle Tyrant is a 5 mana 9/9 beast. Rush. Battlecry. Get a random 8, 6, and 4 attack beast. Set their costs to 2. Not that they cost 2 less. They just cost 2. And I want to point out, because we're so used to playing different minions or spells with a mana cost, this is a 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack, not mana.
Okay, so going back to the Grazing Stegodon, you would have to play that on turn 4 to have it be 3 attack, and play it on turn 6 to have it 5 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
so
you if you played a beast on turn 3, then you could play Terrawing Ravager on 4 as your 7 attack. So
Yep.
if you have coin, I think it's possible to finish the quest by turn like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and then play the reward on turn 5.
Uh-huh. This was one of the easiest quests to complete during theory crafting, and it felt like one of the strongest.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
4 mana, 5/4 beast, Ravasaur Matriarch, Kindred, deal damage to an enemy minion equal to this minion's attack.
This reminds me of that dragon that does the 5 damage, and that saw a lot of play in Dragon Druid.
And wasn't that a 5-drop and this is a 4-drop?
I think it was a 5-drop, and it still got a lot of play. Or was it a 4-drop? I can't remember now.
It might have been.
Yeah, but that one saw a
power
lot
creep,
of play.
so it's possible it was a 5.
Yeah.
I know people are thinking like deal 5 damage. Nah, it's not that great. But it's 4 mana, and you're doing 5 damage for 4 mana, and you're getting a body. And if this is in your imbue deck, it's possible that it costs even less than that, or late game that it's doing way more than 5. So very versatile, seems like a good value.
Yeah.
2 mana spell, Story of Karnassa. Shuffle 10 1-cost 3/2 raptors into your deck with Battle Cry, draw a card. Here's Karnassa's Brood, 1 mana 3/2 beast, already amazingly statted, and Battle Cry draws you a card.
Yeah, the stats on the body are good. The draw is good, so you're not really dead drawing when you're shuffling these into your deck. So yeah, I think this will see a lot of play.
Warlock, 4 mana 7/7 demon beast, Razor, Battle Cry, discard a random card from your hand. Kindred, your opponent's hand instead.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those cards that's going to be loathed this expansion.
I agree. People did not like Tocatus. People did not like Nomelia. I think this is going to be one of the most hated cards of the series. But it'll be so much fun to play.
Is this a card that you can get off of your Kill Jaden?
It's the demon.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Does this mean we're gonna see more Kill Jaden?
I hope not.
Because that means literally everyone could play this. That's kind of terrible.
Yep. So yeah, any deck that has Kill Jaden, this is something that can pop up in it.
And if you play this out of the portal, you know that you played a demon the previous turn, so it's definitely going to be Kindred. Ugh.
Yep.
4 mana Fell Spell, Caustic Fumes, destroy an enemy minion. Kindred, deal 2 damage to all minions.
Yeah, this is a good removal card. There's another card in Warlock that's 4 mana, destroy a minion, and then this has the added bonus of the 2 damage to all minions. I think it'll see play.
7 mana spell, Story of Lakari. At the end of your turn, discard a card and fill your board with 3/2 imps. Lasts 3 turns.
This would almost be better in Wild than in Standard, where there's some discard synergies. I don't think there's much for discard synergies in Standard right now.
Yeah, I agree. And there's so many board clears for small boards. I don't know if on turn 7 you're going to want to play this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
5 mana 0/8 Whispering Stone. Taunt, Death Rattle, get 2 random fell spells. They cost health instead of mana.
Yeah, Taunt is always good. Mana Cheat always good. This is something your opponent can't ignore because it is a taunt.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one intrigues me. I'd be interested to see what the fell spells are, like what the pool is, because I can't think of any that are fell spells in standard right now. But I think this will have some potential.
Zero mana Cursed Catacombs. Fell spell. Discover a minion from your deck. Make it temporary. This is going to synergize really nicely with the quest that we're about to see.
Yeah, this will be great with the quest. This will even be great without the quest. Like this will slot into so many decks just because it's a 0 mana, draw a card from your deck, and if it, like you just have to discover a card that's playable and you can play it that turn. Like I think this will be included in not just this quest deck, but in so many of the decks.
And I think this is also going to be great for anyone who wants to play the new legendary Elise, which we'll see later, which is a new neutral. She's really strong. She requires a deck requirement that your deck include cards from 10 different costs. So if you don't want to have to include a 10 mana card, you could include the 0 mana card instead and go 0 through 9. 2 mana, 2/3 Spelunker. Battlecry, your next temporary card costs 2 less.
Yeah, this will be great with the quest, just being able to play those temporary cards, or more guaranteed to play the cards while they're still temporary.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like an auto include in the quest Warlock, because it's basically a 2 mana float with a body.
Yep.
3 mana 4/3 beast, Tunnel Terror. Death Rattle, get 2 random temporary, 2 cost minions.
I like that it's a death rattle and not a battle cry, because then you basically get an extra turn to play the cards.
This is a great 3-drop because on turn 4 you automatically get to play both of those temporaries as long as this dies.
Yep. I like it.
1 mana, 2 durability location, Blood Petal Biome. Discover a temporary 1 cost minion.
Yeah, this location, for me, I think it's one of the most important cards to draw early to get to your quest reward as quickly as possible, because your quest reward is like overpowered in my opinion, but the trick is getting it down on a decent turn to be able to start getting those demons out of it.
Exactly. Whoever did the flavor text for this has probably gotten poison ivy, because it says the rash doesn't feel temporary. That's so bad. I know like 3 or 4 people who have gotten poison oak or poison ivy, and yeah, it takes a while to go away. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
6 mana, 2/8 Death Rot Maw. Taunt, Death Rattle, summon a random fell beast. Here are the related fell beasts that are possible to summon. 5 mana, 5/3 Demon Beast, Fell Screamer, Rush, Lifesteal. 5 mana, 4/4 Demon Beast, Fell Raptor, Charge, Elusive. 5 mana, 3/5 Demon Beast, Fell Horn, Taunt, Reborn.
Yeah, all 3 of those are really good cards. Like there's not a bad option. Like sometimes, like when you get those dormant fell steeds or whatever, there's usually a bad one that you don't want to get, and like none of these are feels bad in my opinion.
All of these feel good, I think. And the fact that it's a taunt that could possibly give you another taunt, like what great stall is that? And then even if your opponent is clearing out this lifesteal, hopefully they're trading it, and then you get 5 health unless they have a way of doing damage with a spell. And then the fact that this one's charge and elusive is kind of like a soft taunt, because they're not going to want to leave it there.
Yeah, no, this feels good.
Feels like a good value.
Yeah.
And here is the new 1 mana legendary quest, Escape the Underfell. Quest, play 6 temporary cards. Reward, Underfell Rift. Underfell Rift is 5 mana spell. Open the rift to Underfell. Throw a card in to summon 2 random fell beasts once per turn. So you could either summon Fell Screamer, 5/3 Demon Beast with Russian Lifesteal, Fell Raptor, 5 mana 4/4 Demon Beast with Charge and Elusive, Fell Horn, 5 mana 3/5 Demon Beast with Taunt and Reborn. And then this is what the Rift looks like. It takes up a slot on your board. Select the Rift to activate. Throw a card in to summon 2 random fell beasts once per turn. I just want to point out, it says play 6 temporary cards. I saw someone let a bunch of temporary cards discard, and I think they thought that it was like a discard Warlock quest. It's not discard Warlock. That's a completely different archetype. This is, you actually have to play the temporary cards to progress the quest.
And it's important to note too, like once you play the crest reward, there's no mana requirement to get these fell beasts. Like you just like the requirement is you have to pay a card.
Exactly.
But the card going into the rift doesn't cost anything.
Exactly. And as someone pointed out in chat, you can put temporary cards into this. So if you get a temporary off of one of the money cards that you're going to include in your deck to complete this quest, then you could put a temporary card that you don't want to play or that you can't play into the rift and get 2 random fell beasts instead, which is such a good value.
Yep, I think like this will be a really good card. Like if you can get it down on turn 5 or turn 6, like it's so overpowered. If you get it down early, it feels less powerful if you get it down later in the game. But I think if you like the key to this is these locations. Like if you can get both locations down, that's 4 procs of your quest for 1 mana per proc. Like it's very important to get those to draw those locations early.
And the Tunnel Terror helps a lot too, because that's another 2 temporaries that you get to play. And then I also played the Snow Flurry with this, because those are, the Snow Flurry gives you a mini, and then the Snow Flurry and the mini both give you 2 temporary spells. So a lot of ways of generating temporaries. Cursed Catacomb is another great way to generate a temporary. So like if you were to play Cursed Catacombs on 2, discover a temporary Spelunker, and play your temporary Spelunker, then your next temporary costs 2 less. Like there are a lot of ways to float mana and to get all those temporaries played.
Yep.
Okay, let's go through neutral last. Moving on to Demon Hunter. 9 mana, 7/7 legendary, Entomologist Toru. Battlecry, put each minion in your hand into 0/1 jars that cost 1. Break them to release the minions. Related card is Specimen Jar. 1 mana, 0/1, Death Rattle, release. And it would say whatever is inside it. It just says nothing. It's just an empty jar. But these would include all the minions that are in the jars.
So this screams to me like a setup card. You play this on 9 in order to excuse me, get some big Demon Hunter minions out on like the next turn or something like that. Immolation Aura.
Like Inquisitor.
Yep.
Not have to pay for all of them. Pay very little.
Yep.
2 mana fell spell, Fumigate. Deal 3 damage to a minion and all others of the same minion type.
Yeah, I like the flavor behind this because with this expansion, there's a lot like with the whole kindred mechanic. There's a lot of you're going to be playing a lot of minions of the same type. So this is like 2 mana, 3 damage to your entire opponent's board, and if they're playing a different class than you, odds are it's probably not going to affect your side.
Like
of the board.
Murloc Paladin.
Yep.
or Druid, like a Quest Druid.
This card will kill a lot of Murlocs this expansion.
It may or it may not. It does 3 damage, and I have the feeling that for that reason, we're not going to see a whole lot of it, and we will see why soon. 1 mana spell, Hive Map. Discover a fell spell. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others.
Yeah, this map mechanic that they brought out for each class is awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot of fun.
I agree. I love the maps. Super fun. 4 mana, 5/3 Bug Squasher. Battlecry, deal 6 damage to an enemy minion with a minion type.
Yeah, I think for that reason, having the requirement of a minion type is probably the reason we won't see this card getting played.
It's very specific. 5 mana, 5/2 Beast. Silithid Queen. Rush, Kindred. Give your hero +5 attack this turn. So if you played a beast the previous turn, then your hero gets 5 attack. Related card is 1 mana, 2/1 Beast, Silithid Grub, which has Rush. And this is something that we're going to get off of other cards that we see that are new for this class.
Yeah, it's got rush, so that's it's proactive, and it also gives you the +5 attack for your hero. So like it's doing a lot for 5 mana. I think this will see play.
I don't, because it doesn't do 2 damage.
Oh, for the quest.
6 mana, 2/8 Beast, Gorishi Wasp. Whenever this takes damage, get a 1-cost Gorishi Stinger. The Gorishi Stinger is a 1 mana spell. Deal 2 damage, summon a 2/1 Grub with Rush. And the Grub is a 1 mana, 2/1 Beast. Silithid Grub has Rush. So because this has 2 attack, and it gives you a spell that does 2 damage, and the spell that does 2 damage gives you a Grub with 2 attack, I think we'll see this a lot.
Yep, 2 damage. I wonder why 2 damage is so important.
So specific. It's like foreshadowing. 3 mana, 2/2 Insect Claw weapon. After your hero attacks, summon a 2/1 Grub with Rush. Again, that 2 attack theme, which we'll see in just a moment. I think we'll see a lot of this in Quest.
Yeah, this is a good weapon to have. I like even without the quest, this is probably still a good weapon because you get the 2/1 Grub with Rush.
I agree. 3 mana, 2/4 Beast, Gorishi Tunneler. Stealth. After this attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. So it's 2 attack and does 2 damage to the enemy hero. And it has stealth. So unless your opponent has some kind of board clear that can target stealth, like a non-targeted AoE, this is likely going to survive and do 2 damage twice on at least one turn.
Yeah, so it's doing 2 damage at least twice, which is very important.
For 3 mana.
And, for 3 mana, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's good stats for a 3 mana card too, and it does like the little extra 2 damage to the hero. This is a good card. This is a good card without the quest.
Yeah, I agree. 2 mana spell Infestation. Get 2 1-cost Gorishi Stingers. Each one deals 2 damage and summons a 2/1 Grub with Rush.
Yeah, this is one of those cards. Like if I have it in hand, I'm just going to play it on turn 2 just to have the Gorishi Stingers in hand after that. Like this is a good card.
1 slot for 2 spells and 2 minions.
Yep.
Excellent value. And this is why we've been seeing the number 2. 1 mana legendary quest, Unleash the Colossus. Quest, deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy on your turn 15 times. Reward, Gorishi Colossus. Here's the Gorishi Colossus. 5 mana, 8/8. Battle Cry. For the rest of the game, whenever you deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy, deal 2 more.
So it's important to note that these Gorishi Stingers can go face. So it's 1 mana, deal 4 damage to your opponent's face after the quest is completed. That's pretty incredible.
It's really good. And there are so many cards that deal exactly 2 damage. Not only new cards for Demon Hunter, but we'll see some neutrals later on. Like there's a questing assistant that does 2 damage. And then we also already have cards from earlier sets, like the Moonstone Mauler that shuffles asteroids. The Moonstone Mauler itself is a 2/2, so when that goes face, it's going to do exactly 2 damage. The asteroids, as long as you don't have spell damage in board, will do exactly 2 damage. So there are a lot of ways to deal exactly 2 damage 15 times. And the fact that your cards are doing double damage afterwards, this can get out of hand really quickly and be difficult to combat. I think this is going to be one of the most difficult matchups for Control Warrior for surviving those 10 turns.
Yeah, I love Demon Hunter. It's my favorite class. If you see my Twitter, you can tell it's my favorite class, and I'm really excited to play Demon Hunter this coming expansion.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be very popular.
Don't
Druid.
tell anyone that Demon Hunter is my favorite class.
What?
Don't tell anyone that Demon Hunter is my favorite class. I don't
You just did. Druid. 4 mana 5/1 Eternal Blood Petal. Death Rattle, summon a 0/1 Eternal Seedling. Here's the seedling. 4 mana 0/1. Death Rattle, summon a 5/1 Eternal Blood Petal.
Oh, it's like, remember that song? It's just a song that doesn't end. It keeps on going on.
Let's not go there. No, I was thinking there was that Rager that was a quest reward from Duels. Remember, it's like a 5/1 Wax Rager that just kept resummoning. Yeah. And then there was another minion like Phoenix.
Yep.
Remember the Phoenix? And it summoned like a 0-something, and then if that survived, it resummoned the Phoenix.
Yeah, the Phoenix and the egg for that was a warrior card. It was a rush. And then when it died, it created the egg. And then if the egg survived to your next turn, it got the Phoenix back.
So this is one of those cards that I don't know how much we're going to see it played, but if it is played, you kind of need a silence to get rid of it.
Yep.
1 mana nature spell Life Cycle. Destroy a minion, summon a random minion of the same cost to replace it.
So this can go towards your minions, to your opponent's minions.
I think this is going to be really good for Quest Druid because we're going to see there are some cards that summon multiple minions that your opponent's not going to want to swing into because they're not going to want you to complete your quest. So you're going to need something like Life Cycle to destroy your own minions that your enemy is not going to want to destroy for you, that have no attack that you can't destroy by trading.
Yep.
Trees. Sound familiar?
Bees.
5 mana nature spell. Choose a minion, summon 4 2/2 tree ants that attack it. And again, it doesn't say enemy minion, so you could target your own minion with this.
Yeah, and if you target something that is a 2/2 or less, then your minions get to stick around.
Or if you target something that's a 0/3, then all of your tree ants survive and you proc your own Death Rattle, fill your board, which we'll see why that's important in a little bit.
Yep.
2 mana spell Ravenous Flock. At the start of your next turn, summon 3 2/1 hatchlings. Related card. Here's the Sky Screamer Hatchling, 1 mana 2/1 beast.
Yeah, this is kind of like a sigil. So you play it, and then you get the hatchlings your next turn. So that's kind of important too with the quest because you can set up building a full board for the following turn.
Yeah, it feels a lot like a Demon Hunter card. So here's a beautiful target for trees or for Life Cycle. We have the new 3 mana 0/2 Sky Screamer Eggs. Death Rattle, summon 4 2/1 hatchlings. And again, the hatchlings are 1 mana 2/1 beasts.
Yep, just like you said, it's a great target for your trees. And it's something that your opponent does not want to proc the Death Rattle to, so you're probably going to have to do it yourself.
Yep. 3 mana 2/3 Hatchery Helper. Battle cry. Give your other minions with 2 or less attack, 1/2, and taunt.
Oh, this is a great token druid
Yep.
card because you play a bunch of small stuff on turns 1 and 2, and then you bump up the stats on turn 3 with this card.
This is basically Busy Bot, and we saw how popular that was for Paladin. Now Druid gets its own version. And it's another way to help proc your Sky Screamer eggs. Because now this becomes a 1/5 with taunt. And so your opponent has to hit into it. 5 mana nature spell Hybridization. Draw a 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost minion, Kindred. They cost 1 less. So if you played a nature spell the turn before, all of these would cost less. So your 1, 2, 3, and 4 would now cost 0, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, card draw and mana cheat. It's always good. Like this will find a home, I think.
It's kind of chunky. I agree it will find a home. I'm just not sure where.
Yeah, it's 5 mana do nothing for a
Because
turn.
if you draw this early and you're trying to do the quest, this is going to feel so bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be better to just include cheap cards that draw for you. That don't take your whole turn early.
Yeah, plus if you're playing minions, you're probably not playing a nature spell the turn prior.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. Good point. 1 mana legendary quest, Restore the Wild. Quest, fill your board on 3 of your turns. Reward, the Everbloom. Here's the Everbloom. 3 mana, 2/5 weapon. 5 durability. After your hero attacks, give your minions 2/2.
That's so many stats.
It's so many stats. And I just
Yeah,
want to point out that Emirdrasil is still in rotation. And it says fill your board on 3 of your turns, not fill your board with minions. So if you have locations out, those take up board slots. There's something your enemy can't remove, and it helps you finish your quest even faster.
Oh, this is a spell damage druid card.
Does spell damage druid play that many minions?
No, but it plays a lot of locations.
Oh, that's true.
I remember watching the Masters tour, and like spell damage druid was brought by a lot of players in the Masters tour, and they had like full boards every turn because they just like location here, location here.
Yeah, but then what are you buffing?
Oh yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I think this is a token deck card. We're definitely going to see this with a lot of aggro. I feel like this is an auto include for aggro decks. 7 mana, 5/5 legendary, Lo the Living Legend. Battlecry, your minions cost 5 this game.
This is gonna find a home in Wild somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like the quest and everything else new is leaning towards aggro, so probably not going to see too much of this in standard, but could be great in Wild. And for all of those of you who feel like you're getting too old, the flavor text says, pretty spry for 4,217-year-old. Continuing on the theme of stories that all the classes get this expansion, 2 mana spell, Story of Barnabas. Draw a minion. If it has 5 or more attack, give it 5 health and gain 5 armor.
Yeah, so it's a 2 mana, draw a card, get some buffs on the card and some armor. It's doing a lot for 2 mana. It sucks though if you draw a minion that doesn't have 5 attack, but
right.
So you're probably not seeing this in your token decks, but you're probably seeing it somewhere else.
Probably more in Wild.
Yep.
Moving on to Shaman. 1 mana spell mountain map. Discover a minion with a type you have not played. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others.
Yeah, this is one of those cards that, so like with the quest in Shaman, you're going to want to play minion types, and this is one of those ones where you want to probably play later in the game, as you've already played a few different minion types, because this will fill out your requirements for the other minion types that are probably not too prominent in your deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like this will be an auto include for Shaman Quest. And it's even just a great card for any deck, honestly.
Yep.
Because again, like we've said with the other map cards, you choose something that's playable and then you get 2 cards for 1 card slot in your deck. 3 mana fire spell, Flight of the Firehawk. Draw 2 minions of different minion types. Give them 2/2.
Again, the power creep on Arcane Intellect.
Mm-hmm. Poor
Draw
Mage.
2, give them buffs. I know.
2 mana 1/2 Elemental Murloc, Cinderfin. Death Rattle, summon a 2/1 Sizzling Cinder, which is a 1 mana 2/1 Elemental. Death Rattle, deal 2 damage, randomly split among all enemies.
Yeah, this is doing a lot for a 2 mana card. Like I don't feel bad at all playing this on turn 2.
Same. 6 mana fire spell, Sizzling Swarm, deal 3 damage. Summon that many 2/1 Sizzling Cinders. Notice it doesn't say summon 3. So this is something where if you are doing extra damage with spell damage, you'll summon extra Sizzling Cinders.
Yep, I think this is a lot of fun. This is doing a lot for 6 mana, and like you said, with the if you have spell damage on somewhere, then you get more damage on the initial damage. This can go phase too, and then you get the cinders on top of that, which can also do more damage on their death rattle. So it's doing a lot for 6 mana.
It is. And there are cards that we will see that draw cards and give extra spell damage. So that's a great way to draw this card. 4 mana 2/5 Elemental Mech, Mechanized Magma. Whenever you play a fire spell, gain stats equal to its cost.
Okay, so you play this, and then you play Sizzling Swarm afterwards. You get +6/+6 is how I'm reading this?
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of stats.
That is a lot of stats.
It's one of those must-kill minions, I think.
Agreed. It's definitely a soft taunt at that point. 5 mana 3/4 Elemental Dragon, Slag Claw. Battlecry, summon 2 2/1 Sizzling Cinders. Kindred, trigger your Sizzling Cinders death rattles.
So if you have additional Sizzling Cinders on board when this is played, it would proc those death rattles too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's how it reads.
That's fun.
That is fun. That's very spicy. 3 mana 1/5 Legendary, Bralma Searstone. Your elementals deal 1 extra damage.
Okay, so this is an active aura, not a battle cry or anything like that. So this, while this thing's on the board, then your elementals will get that extra damage.
Correct. So now all these little cinders, which look so unassuming, instead of dealing 2 damage randomly split among all enemies, they would deal 3 damage split among all enemies.
And Priest has that card in Wild where it's a 2 mana 1/3, deal 1 extra damage, and that sees a lot of play in aggro Priest and Wild. So I would think that this would see play too.
1 mana Legendary Quest spell, Spirit of the Mountain. Quest, play 7 minions of unique types. Reward Ashelon. Ashelon Ridge Guardian is a 5 mana 8/8 elemental beast. Battlecry, adapt twice. For the rest of the game, give minions you play those adaptations.
Well, that's pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun, especially if you high roll and get like a wind fury lifesteal. Then you're never dying.
Was lifesteal an adaptation back in Ungoro?
Oh, was it? I can't remember now.
We'd have to look at what the adaptation pool is. Because I remember I was looking for Rush on something, and I don't think Rush was an adaptation in Ungoro yet. So we would have to see what adaptations are available. I think Divine Shield, Taunt, +3 attack, +1/+1. We'd have to look them up somewhere.
I'm looking it up now.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I just saw someone mention in chat, if you played Shutterblock, if you played Shutterblock the turn before you play Ashelon, that's disgusting. Would you get to adapt multiple times then? Would you get to adapt twice, thrice?
Oh, maybe.
Or would this be one of those things where like it would adapt twice and then overwrite the adapt twice 2 times?
I think we get both, would it not?
We'll have to find out when we see it in play. I do want to point out this is coded differently than previous cards that require different minion types. So in the past, like if you've played an amalgam for something, it will count as a type. Or if you've played like something that's an undead beast, it will count like as an undead and as a beast. This uses like fusion minion types. So if you were to play an undead beast, it doesn't count as either an undead or as a beast. It counts as a quote undead beast end quote. So when you're playing this quest, just that's something to be aware of. You can't just go all amalgams to complete this because amalgam is considered its own type, unique type.
Okay, so here are the adaptations. Death Rattle, summon 2/1/1 plants, +1/+1, +3 attack, +3 health, elusive, Divine Shield, Wind Fury, Taunt, Poisonous, and Stealth.
Okay. Thanks for looking that up. So there's no charge and there's no rush.
And no lifesteal.
And no lifesteal. Someone in chat is saying someone played this against them in Brawl and 2 amalgams procced it twice. Interesting. So I wonder if it's already been rewritten since theory crafting. We'll have to see how that plays out once expansion drops. 3 mana fire spell, Lava Flow. Deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy 3 times. Overload 1.
Oh yeah, this will find a home, I think, and it can go face, and it can target the same target 3 times if possible.
I feel like Demon Hunter would love to have this card.
Well, they had that card. It was 2 damage twice. It was 2 mana, 2 damage twice. I forget the name of it, but yeah, it was a fell spell that saw a lot of play, especially when like Fell Demon Hunter was the thing with Jace Darkweaver. That was great. Oh, I love that deck.
That was a good time. 3 mana 2/3 Elemental Beast, Volcanic Thrasher, Battlecry, draw a fire spell. Kindred, give it spell damage +2. So going back to Sizzling Swarm, if you play Volcanic Thrasher and have the Kindred active, this Sizzling Swarm would be drawn with spell damage +2. So now it would deal 5 damage and summon 5 2/1 Sizzling Cinders.
I like it.
Pretty decent.
Yeah. So it says draw, not discover. So it's kind of, there's a bit of randomness to it, but
It's
you
true.
could luck out. Yeah.
But I mean,
It's
even
still
if you
good.
draw like Lava Flow with it, now instead of dealing 2 damage to the lowest health enemy 3 times, you're doing 4 damage 3 times. That's 12 damage for 3 mana. And it's
Yeah,
only
spot on.
overload 1.
That's good.
That's really good. Moving on to Mage. 7 mana, 7/7 legendary, Titanographer Osk. Gains a random Titan ability in your hand that changes each turn. And would you like to read us the related cards?
No, I don't. I thought Titans were gone.
There are so many. Oh, okay. I'm not going to go through all of these. Look how many there are, chat. I'm going to lose my voice. We still haven't even done the neutrals. Just suffice to say, any of the Titan abilities, you're randomly going to be able to get one each turn.
Titans have been gone for only 4 months and now they're back.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is an amazing card, right? The only reason I don't think we're going to see it is because of our upcoming mage quest that we're about to see. And I think people are going to want to play a lot of discovers, and this doesn't really fit in with that.
And you could really low roll for the Titan ability.
You really could.
Yeah, it could be 7 mana, do nothing.
4 mana, 4/5 elemental, wind swept page turner. After you summon an elemental, deal 3 damage to a random enemy.
Also, yeah, this is an active aura, so if you play this and let it stick on board, then it's doing a lot of damage.
It's well statted, and I can see it fitting into an elemental mage deck. I just don't know how much elemental mage we will be seeing. Could be good and wild.
Yep.
3 mana, 2/4 Vault Breaker. After you discover a card, reduce its cost by 1.
Okay, so this is another active aura then that you would just stay on board, and as long as it's on board, then you get that that mana reduction. I don't know. Will it see play? Like I know on Theory Crafting there was a spell only mages with the quest. That seemed to be pretty good.
The quest reward is so good that I don't know how valuable the cost reduction is going to be. It's kind of like the Druid buff card that we saw. No, the Paladin buff card that we saw, where the quest is already buffing for you. It's just a decision of whether to reduce the cost of items that you're discovering early or whether to progress your quest faster.
Yep.
2 mana spell Unearthed Artifacts. Summon a random 2-drop. If you've discovered this turn, summon a random 4-drop instead.
Yeah, well, with this one, random can be good, can be bad. It's random. I think to your previous point, though, you kind of want to have your focus on doing the actual discovering and not something like this.
I feel like this could be a good card to discover, but not to include in your deck.
Yeah.
1 mana legendary quest spell, the Forbidden Sequence. Quest, discover 8 cards. Reward, the Origin Stone. The Origin Stone is a 3 mana 0/8 weapon. After you discover a card, this plays the other options and loses 1 durability.
So if
it's 8 durability.
If I'm reading this correctly, it says pick the cheapest discover option and let the weapon cast the other 2.
Yes, but no. because you also don't want to let things cast that could go face on yourself.
Yes.
So kind of depends on both like how cheap things are, but also whether they're directed or whether you can let them go, let them fly, and know that they're going to hit the enemy.
Yeah, it's basically every time you get that option to discover, you have to assess the situation and pick what's best for your situation.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just discover spells. You can also discover minions. So this is something where like if you play the quest and then you play Savjz, you after you've gotten the origin stone, then you would automatically play the other two minions. So I think we'll see a lot of no minion mage, but it is possible to play it with minions as well, the way that it's written.
Yep.
And it kind of makes me wonder if this is going to be a Viper meta. Like we just got out of Dirty Rat meta. Will this be a Viper meta? Because we have the Origin Stone and we have the Everbloom for Druid, which we'll remember also has quite a large durability, I think 5.
Yep, it's a 2/5.
So will these two weapons be so OP that people make a tech spot for Viper?
Maybe.
To be seen. And can we just take a moment to look at that artwork? That's so cool. Elise is looking into this very eerie looking portal door.
That is cool.
2-mana spell, Story of the Waygate. Reduce the cost of cards in your hand that did not start in your deck by 1.
Mana cheat, good.
Mana cheat, good, but it's not discover. I think it'd be great to discover this. Will people create a slot for it? Not so sure.
That's true.
3-mana arcane spell, Storage Scuffle. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Costs 0 if you've discovered this turn.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to your point. Do you want to have this in your deck when you'd rather have discover cards?
I almost think yes with this one, just because you need to survive long enough to get the origin. And if this costs 0 after, like you're discovering on every turn, ideally. So this basically costs 0 for early removal to help you survive long enough to get the origin stone.
And it's 3 damage to a minion, doesn't go face.
Correct. So this would just be to help keep yourself alive.
Survivability.
We worry about winning later. We just worry about staying alive until we get the origin stone. And I think that helps toward that. 1-mana 1/1 Scrappy Scavenger. Battle Cry. Discover a card with cost equal to your remaining mana crystals. Isn't that convenient?
I like this because it's guaranteed playable in the same turn. That's kind of neat.
And I also like it because it's good before the quest and it's good after the quest.
Yep. Oh, it'd be great after the quest.
Right?
Because if you have 10 mana, you play this, you have 9 remaining mana, you get 3 options.
Yep. You basically get 2 free 9/9s. So you choose the 9/9 that you don't want on the board yet, and then it plays the other 2 for you.
Yeah.
So good. 9 drops, not 9/9s. We don't know what their stats are. 7-mana spell, Relic of Kings. Discover a spell from any class that costs 8 or more. It costs 1.
Now there was a Druid spell that did something similar. It was like discover, I think it was like a 10 cost minion and set it to 1, and that never really saw play. But I don't know. This might it does help with your discover options. It'd be great after the weapon is equipped.
Exactly.
Because then you cast like Tsunami and something else automatically.
Yeah, I think this is expensive but good.
Yeah.
Praise for Story of Amora. Yeah, that would be amazing. 3 mana 2/2 elemental conjured bookkeeper. Isn't that cute? Death Rattle, draw a spell, kindred, summon a copy of this.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. It'd be a great in elemental mage because you get 2 of these guys and they both draw, so it's another power creep on arcane intellect. 3 mana with a body, draw 2.
Even if you're not getting the kindred on it, even if you're not playing elemental mage, it seems okay for quest mage because it's a body on board that draws you a spell, and we know we're going to have a lot of spells. That is all for mage. So we've covered all the class cards. We're going to take a short break and then we'll come back. We'll catch up on chat and then we will go into neutrals. So please stay tuned, everyone, for the rest of this card review, and we will see you soon. Welcome back, everyone, to our complete review, all 145 cards of the Lost City of Un'Goro, with our special guest, the Toucher.
Hello.
Diving into our last set, the neutral cards, starting with 9 mana, 8/7 beast, legendary Krog Crater King. At the end of your turn, set the attack and health of all enemy minions to 1.
I like this one. I think it'll see play as a control tool. It's like that one spell for mage where you only take 1 damage per source. I forget the name of it, but it's not in standard anymore. But it was such a pain in the butt when it was in standard.
Yeah, this is such a great late game counter. Especially if you're against like Control Warrior or something that has a really huge end game board. Krog is an excellent, excellent counter.
Yep.
2 mana, 2/1 beast, Ancient Raptor. Battlecry, choose to gain +3 attack, Divine Shield, or Death Rattle, summon 2 1/1 plants.
I wonder if we'll see something like this in Death Knight.
Yep.
Just for the corpses.
For the plants. That is exactly how I use this. It's a great way to get early corpses.
Yep.
3 mana, 3/2 Stranglevine. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion a random bonus effect and this Death Rattle.
I think this will be a fun card. I don't know how many decks will see it in, but it's not a bad card.
It can be good if you consistently have minions on the board to float the Death Rattle to. It's kind of like a mini Greybow. It doesn't have taunt, but it's like, you know, jumping from minion to minion.
Can Greybow not be in standard anymore? I think I've had it in those stupid Druid decks.
I love that card. 9 mana, 8/8 Elemental Dragon, Whirling Storm Drake. How beautiful is that dragon, by the way? Rush, Wind Fury, Kindred, gain immune this turn.
I think we're going to see a lot of this in Imbue Paladin. It's a great 9-drop. I think is it the only 9-drop?
Maybe.
I'm going to look. I'm going to find out.
Yeah, this is going to be pain. This is going to be pain if this is what they get from the portal.
Okay, so there's 4 9-drop dragons in standard right now. You got Firebat, Sleepy Dragon, this card, and Ysera.
Can you say that one more time? Sleepy Dragon is the taunt that's like a 6/12?
6/12 taunt, and then there's Firebat, which is a 7/7.
Uh-huh.
And you got this card, and Ysera, which is a 4/12.
Okay. Now that's a very small pool.
The 10 drops are insane though. For that imbue paladin.
What are the 10 drops right now?
The only two 10 drops are Briarspawn Drake, which is the 12/7 that attacks a random enemy.
Disgusting.
And then Runaway Blackwing, which deals 10 damage to a minion at the end of the turn.
Also disgusting. Yeah, those are very difficult to deal with as well.
Yep.
4 mana 4/7 Willful Watcher. Taunt, Death Rattle, destroy the top 3 cards of your deck.
I don't think this one will see play.
I don't either.
No.
4 mana 5/3 Beast, Primal Saber-Tooth. Stealth, after this attacks and kills a minion, get a copy of it.
It's a fun text, but another one of those cards we probably won't see too much of.
Mm-hmm.
If it had Rush, it'd be a lot better, but...
Exactly. 4 mana 5/4 Beast, Crater Gator. Battlecry, until the start of your next turn, the enemy hero cannot be healed.
It's kind of like a niche circumstance where you might want to have something like this, but I don't think you would tuck this into your lineup.
Nope. 3 mana 0/3 Pterodax Egg. Death Rattle, summon a 3/3 Pterodax that steals 1 health from all other minions. Related card, 3 mana 3/3 Beast, Juvenile Pterodax.
So is it like almost like a battle cry when this thing dies? It just sucks up 1 health from everything that's on board?
I'm wondering if it's an aura. It doesn't have text on the Juvenile Pterodax, so we will have to see it played to find out. Like, I wonder if it would happen every turn or if it's just when it procs.
I think it's part of the death rattle itself. So it would happen once. So if you have like, if there's 7 minions on board, it would take 7 health. So it'd be a 3/10.
Could be good. 3 mana 5/5 Petrified Ogre starts dormant. While dormant, gain 2/2 at the start of your turn. 50% chance to awaken instead.
Could you imagine playing this and then it just stays dormant for like 10 turns?
Yeah. That's pretty random.
Yeah.
2 mana 1/3 Murloc Rock Skipper. Battlecry, get a 1-cost rock that deals 3 damage. Here's the rock. 1 mana spell, deal 3 damage.
Oh yeah, I've seen so much of this in the Murloc Paladin with the quest. Great card.
It's a Murloc. Gives you a rock.
It's perfect.
Yep. We got a comment about the Petrified Ogre. 50% chance to die to Big Game Hunter. Oh, that's funny. 8 mana 1/12 Elemental Tar Tyrant. Taunt, Lifesteal, has +6 attack during your opponent's turn.
This would be one of those cards that would be great to get off of that one Death Knight legendary where it pulls two cards from your deck and they fight. Could you imagine pulling 2 of this?
I'm pretty sure that draws 2 Death Rattle cards.
Oh, Death Rattle. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That would be juicy though.
Yep. But yeah, this is a I don't think it'll see play, but it's kind of like a nice discover if you're in need of discovering something defensive.
Yeah, even as defense, it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
6 mana 3/6 Beast, Scale Hide Kodo. Battlecry, destroy the lowest attack enemy minion. Kindred, the highest attack instead. So if you played a beast the previous turn, you would get to destroy the highest attack enemy minion. For only 6 mana and with a 3/6 body.
Yeah, there's cards like this that have seen play. Like there's the Death Knight hero card where it destroys the highest attack enemy minion. Asphyxiate is, I believe, also something like that too. So like there are cards that have seen play with this kind of mechanic on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has a chance.
And we've had other Kodos that have seen play that only destroy minions with 2 or less attack, or 3 or less attack, something like that. So the fact that this could destroy the lowest or the highest, I think it's more likely to see play than those. Three mana, 3/3 beast, Marshland Thresher. After you cast a spell, gain Divine Shield.
It's kind of a cool mechanic. So it can happen more than once. You play this on 3, play a spell on turn 4, it gets Divine Shield, hits into something, play another spell, gets Divine Shield again. It's interesting. I think it might see play.
2 mana, tradable 2/2, Crystal Tender. Tradable, Battle Cry. Gain empty mana crystals until both players have the same mana.
It's like a catch-up card.
Yeah.
If your opponent has ramp and you want to play catch-up, then you play this card and it catches you up to your opponent's mana cost or mana count, which is interesting tech card. Like you'd have to know your opponent is playing ramp and have this in your lineup. So I don't think it'll really see play.
I think it'll be very meta dependent. Like if there's a very popular ramp deck playing, people might start adding this. But unless that happens or that's a lot of your matchups, I don't think it's going to be included.
Yeah, I agree.
2 mana, 3/5, Curious Explorer, Death Rattle. Reduce the cost of a minion in your opponent's hand by 2.
So it's great stats for a 2 mana card, but you're punishing if you reduce a cost by 2 from your opponent, that they can sneak something out early. So you cheat something out on turn 2 that has good stats, and then they might potentially cheat something out on a later turn.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not a big fan of that. I probably will never play that card.
3 mana, 1/5 beast, Ancient Stegodon, Battlecry. Choose to gain Taunt, Poisonous, or 1/1.
Like that's good stats for a 3-drop. Like if you play this on turn 3 and you get a 2/6 out of it, like pretty decent.
Three mana, 3/3, Relic Miner, Battlecry. Destroy the top card of your deck. Oh, that was so loud. I thought I had that turned off. 3 mana, 3/3, Relic Miner, Battlecry. Destroy the top card of your deck. Discover a card of the same rarity. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to destroy a card that you intentionally put in your deck for some purpose in order to get some random discover option. I don't think that's a great trade-off.
I agree. Usually the reason you include cards in your deck is because you like the cards that are in your deck.
Yep.
3 mana, 2/3, Undercover Cultist. Taunt, Reborn, has +3 attack while damaged.
I wonder if we'll see something like this in the warrior decks.
This could be good for warrior, and I'm also thinking because it has Taunt and Reborn, it could be good for Death Knight because it creates another corpse. And it could help keep something alive, like Peggy. Like if you're trying to give other Death Rattles Reborn. Because Death Knight doesn't have a whole lot of cheap taunt. So it doesn't have a whole lot of ways of keeping Peggy alive.
Yep.
By the way, for those of you who are listening to this card review, I also play Battlegrounds and call, what is her name? Brittlebone Buccaneer Peggy, because they basically have similar card art. So that's what I'm talking about. It's the one for 2 mana that gives Death Rattles Reborn. Have a lot of nicknames for cards when you play a long time.
I was wondering, like, who's Peggy?
11 mana, 14/28 beast, Ultra Gigasaur.
This is the card that will send Dirty Rat back to the depths where it belongs.
I saw a really funny meme the other day that said basically this is oh, what was the original Gigasaur? It was like a
It was 714. I think it was half the stats of this.
Yeah, it was half the stats of this. And it showed the original Gigasaur and said you. And then it showed the Ultra Gigasaur and it said the guy your girlfriend tells you not to worry about. Oh, so funny.
That's too funny.
Always a bigger doormonger. 5 mana, 3/6 elemental Storm Brewer. Whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to the target first. Kindred gain Rush. So if you played an elemental in the previous turn, you gain Rush and you deal 3 damage to your target before hitting it. So this means that you might actually just take it off the board without taking any damage.
Yeah, I like that. Like you could, if it's got 3 health or less, then it just goes away, and you keep the stats on your Storm Brewer intact.
This is something that we've seen before in Battlegrounds. Have we seen something with this mechanic in Standard?
I
don't think we have.
I think one of the ogres does something like that.
Oh, does it? I thought one of the ogres had like 50% chance of gaining Divine Shield, like when attacking, or giving your hero the attack instead.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. It's the 50% for your hero to attack.
But I don't know if we've seen a card that deals damage to the target before the card attacks it.
No, I don't think so either.
It feels very auto battler. And 4 mana, 4/3 elemental dragon, Cloud Serpent. Battle cry, get a copy of another elemental or dragon in your hand.
Yeah, it generates value. It's not a bad card. I think I would include it in an elemental deck.
Yep. Or a dragon deck.
Yep.
1 mana, 2/1 elemental, Sizzling Cinder, Death Rattle, deal 2 damage, randomly split among all enemies.
So is it 1 damage and then another damage? Like
I believe that is how it works, yeah. Because it's randomly split.
That's almost a shame, because if it was just 2 damage, that would be a great Demon Hunter card.
Mm-hmm. Kind of wondering if that's why they wrote it like this.
Yeah, maybe.
But we did see a lot of synergy for these little Cinder Elementals with Shaman. 6 mana, 5/7 legendary City Chief Esho. Battle cry, if every minion in your deck shares a minion type, give your other minions +2/+2 wherever they are.
That could be good. You'd have to definitely build your deck around this card if you want to include it, though.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be like, say you have like a Murloc beast and then like a beast elemental, would everything count as a beast and be considered the same, or would it have to be the exact same?
It says shares, not is. So the way I read this would be if they all contain the word beast in them, no matter if they're a beast something else or just a beast, since they share beast.
Okay. Then it should work.
That's my read, at least. We will not know until we see it in practice. But I don't know, it kind of feels like a less good like Paladin quest.
Yeah, you probably want to be doing more with 6 mana later in the game than this.
4 mana, 4/3 Murloc, Steam Fin Thief. Kindred, summon 2 1/1 Murlocs with Rush. The juvenile Steam Fins are 1 mana, 1/1 Murlocs with Rush. And look how cute they are.
So yeah, it's important to note with the Paladin quest, like every time it summons one of these 1/1s, that's an additional count towards your quest.
Exactly. Yeah. Paladin Quest does not say play, it says summon. So this is an excellent auto include in Quest Paladin. Not to mention that there's a Kindred Murloc where your next Kindred triggers twice. So if you play that Murloc the turn before this or the card before this, now instead of summoning 2 1/1s with Rush, you'll be summoning 4 1/1s with Rush, which helps your quest even more. And if you time it out, you can make sure that your rushes have more stats. Auto include.
Yep. 100%.
3 mana 3/2 Murloc, Primal Fin Challenger, Battlecry. Oh, this is the card I was just talking about.
This is the card.
Battlecry, your next Kindred triggers twice.
Yeah, so it being a Murloc itself will activate the Kindred, and then when you play the Steamfin Thief the following turn, then yeah, you get the 4 1/1s.
Yep. Auto include. 1 mana 1/2 Beast, Platosaur, Battlecry, draw a card, Death Rattle, discard it. Historically, we've had a lot of very cheap 1 mana cards with an action that have seen a lot of play. So even though this discards the card that you're drawing, I feel like this could work really well into a lot of aggro decks because, again, like you won't want to play this in a big beast hunter unless you play it late and you think you're going to have the mana. But if you, or I guess an imbue, because then imbue hunter, you draw it, you play your imbue hero power, and then you discount it so that it's playable and you don't have to discard it. But I think the main way this is going to fit into decks is aggro decks.
Yeah, if you're playing a token deck, you play this. If you're on the play it on turn 1. Odds are you should be able to play the card it draws the following turn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, it feels bad if it draws like one of your big expensive cards and then gets tossed because it gets destroyed before you're able to play it.
Mm-hmm. 7 mana 3/3 Beast, Ravenous Devilsaur, Battlecry, destroy a minion, Kindred, gain its stats. So if you played a beast the turn before, then you're basically gaining the stats of whatever you destroy.
It's kind of like a mutinous a little bit.
Uh-huh. Except instead of eating something out of their deck, you're eating something off the board.
Yep.
And there are quite a few untargetable chonky minions right now that would be such a good Ravenous Devilsaur snack. Like Zilius, Tortilla. This could get rid of some really problematic cards.
Yeah, you're playing up against a warrior that has the Tortolan or whatever it is, and all of a sudden this is, instead of a 3/3, this is a 1/33 or a 4/33.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
4 mana 2/7 Undead Beast Legendary, Torga. Battlecry, draw a Kindred card and another card that activates it.
Yeah, it's draw 2 on a decently statted body. I think this is a good card.
Yeah. Poor Mage. We keep seeing draw 2s and saying, poor Mage.
Poor arcane intellect.
3 mana 3/3 Dissolving Ooze. Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion. Spit out the bones of its attack and health into your hand. And here's the 2 mana spell Bones. Give a minion 0/0, but this would be the stats of whatever you've destroyed.
Like this card's already out and it's seen some play already. I think it's a good card.
It's a great way of breaking minions that your opponent's not going to want to break for you and gaining those stats. And it's a 3/3, so it's already well statted.
And activating a death rattle that you want activated.
Exactly.
Yep.
4 mana 2/4 elemental Blob of Tar. Poisonous, Taunt. Death Rattle. Summon a 1/2 blob with Poisonous and a 1/2 blob with Taunt. The Lanky Blob is a 2 mana 1/2 elemental with Poisonous. The Robust Blob is a 2 mana 1/2 elemental with Taunt.
Yeah, this card is already out, and it's such a good card. Like if you're needing to play a little bit of defense, like this is a very sticky minion.
Very sticky.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most talked about cards in the new set, and I believe one of the most commonly used characters in the game of Hearthstone. Elise, we've seen Elise in a lot of expansion sets. 4 mana 3/5 legendary Elise the Navigator. Battlecry. If your deck started with 10 cards of different costs, craft a custom location. Someone asked me, does this mean I have to include a card 1 through 10? Yes, unless you could include a 0 mana card, because 0 mana would be a different card cost. So it doesn't necessarily need to be in sequence. It's just 10 cards of different costs, including anything from 0 through whatever. I believe Ceaseless Expanse would count as well, since it is above 10 mana. Any 10 disparate costs. And here are all the related cards. Does it actually show the text on these? Here we go. Bursting Geyser. Death Rattle. Deal 10 damage to all enemies. Bursting Geyser. Death Rattle. Deal 5 damage to all enemies. Bursting Geyser. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. Nesting Grounds. Summon a 2/1 raptor with Rush. Summon 3 2/1 raptors with Rush. Summon 6 2/1 raptors with Rush. Shining Moonlight. Your next spell has spell damage +1, spell damage +4, spell damage +2. Runic Inscriptions. Discover a spell it costs 1 less. Discover a spell it costs 4 less. Discover a spell it costs 7 less. Snapping Plants. Give your characters +1 attack this turn, +2 attack this turn, +4 attack this turn. Lava Stream. Gain 3 armor, gain 6 armor, gain 12 armor. Radiant Crystals. Summon a 1/1 copy of a friendly minion, a 5/5 copy of a friendly minion, a 10/10 copy of a friendly minion. Nesting Raptor. Wait, why is Nesting Raptor there? And then the durabilities. So you can pay 10 mana for your location and get 3 durability for Fire Plume Ridge. 5 mana for 3 durability Terror Run. 1 mana for 3 durability Ungoro Jungle. So depending on the cost of the location that you choose, you're going to get a 3 durability location no matter what, but that's what will affect whether you get the different stats in like Nesting Grounds or Moonlight or Inscriptions and so on.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the old Ignis weapon where you choose 1, 5, or 10 mana, and then the stats that go along with it.
Exactly. A lot of options, and I have literally never seen Elise craft a bad location. They're all helpful. She only costs 4 mana. She does have the requirement that you have to have cards of 10 different costs in your deck, but a lot of decks have a lot of, like early game cards and then a few expensive cards anyway. So it doesn't seem like a huge deck requirement, since your deck's probably going to be meeting most of that anyway, and you may only have to fit in like 1 or 2 extra cards that you might not have had for like a huge, really good location.
Yeah, it'll be good to like play this on 4 and curve into like the 5 mana location. I think we'll see a lot of that, and I'm going to try this card too in Control Warrior. I think it'll find a nice home in that deck.
I agree. I feel like 4 into 5 is probably ideal, but if you get 9 into 10, that could be really spicy against control matchups. And I think Elise is going to see a lot of play. It's a fun mechanic. People love crafting things. People love having options, and it creates a lot of variability that makes each game feel a little bit different. 7 mana, 6/6, Endbringer Umbra. Battlecry, trigger the death rattles of 5 friendly minions that died this game.
Well, we're already seeing this in Hog Demon Hunter and how amazing it can be there. Because you get the like, say you have 4 hogs die, and then one of those what's the 5 mana guy with 5 mana 5/3. Like that's happened to me where I get OTK'd on turn 7 from the death rattles of 4 hogs, and then you get a couple extra hogs on board with it.
You know what else this works really well with?
What's that?
Your least favorite card.
Which one's that?
Greybow.
Oh yeah, that's where I. Oh my god, I was playing against the Druid and they pulled that scam, and I was so mad.
Oh, the number of times that I've played Umbra and gotten multiple Greybows just warms my heart.
Yeah. And there was a couple times where I thought I had it figured out, where I could kill all the minions and stop the death rattle, but then I'm like forgetting about one little Greybow sticking in somewhere, and then it survives, and then it gets all the other death rattles again, and frustrating combo.
Really frustrating.
Oh my goodness.
Someone was saying play Umbra on Velen. Yeah, that could work really well for Draenei. That would be a lot of repeated battle cries.
Yep.
2 mana, 1/2 Tortolan Storyteller. At the end of your turn, give 1/1 to each friendly minion of a different type. This could synergize with the Shaman quest, since you're playing so many different minions of different types, but would it be included since it's not a type itself?
Well, this would be good in a menagerie deck. Like we're seeing Menagerie Death Hunter right now with the jug and all that. Like this would be a very good card to slot into something like that.
That's true. And it costs less than Jug. I even saw a Death Knight play Jug and Mug. So if they can fit both of those, maybe they'll fit the Tortolan Storyteller as well.
Yep.
4 mana, 4/4 Beast, Ancient Pterodax. Battlecry, choose to gain stealth until your next turn, elusive, or Wind Fury.
So is it stealth until the next turn? And does that also apply to elusive and Wind Fury, or do you keep the elusive and Wind Fury?
I believe that the way it's written, I believe the stealth would be till the next turn, because otherwise, if the elusive and Wind Fury were also included, I think it would say choose to gain stealth, elusive, or Wind Fury until your next turn.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
might not be included
okay.
in a deck, but like a decent discover option.
Yeah. 2 mana, 3/2 Questing Assistant. Battlecry, if you play to quest this game, deal 2 damage. Just because we have a new quest for every class, I feel like this is going to be one of the most played neutrals. And it fits in so well with the Demon Hunter quest, because it does 2 damage. I know it's a 3/2, but it does 2 damage. And it can go face.
Yeah, you play quest on 1, this goes on turn 2. It's good.
Yeah. That is all the cards. Final thoughts. What is your favorite card, or what do you feel like we're going to see played the most or the least?
Well, there's so many good cards. Like at first I was not looking forward to this expansion because it didn't seem like it was gonna come together very well. But like after reviewing all the cards, there's definitely gonna be some powerful decks that might overpower some of the current metas that we're seeing right now with the starships and all that. Like the quests are exciting. I'm looking forward to trying that Paladin quest out. The Demon Hunter quest is gonna be really fun, I think. And there's so many good cards. Like even some of the neutrals, like the Blob of Tar, that's already making its way into the meta. as a powerful card. This is going to be a really good expansion. I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. I feel like a lot of the cards feel a little underwhelming on their own, but I feel like together a lot of them synergize really well just because of all the new quests, the new stories, revisiting, mechanics that we've had in the past, the new maps that let you discover multiple like minions or spells. I think it's going to be a really fun expansion. I feel like already
Well, yeah,
we've seen that Murloc Paladin's going to be really strong, and that's been a fan favorite in the past. People have loved Murloc Paladin before, and I feel like a lot of people are very excited that that's coming back. People also love Spell Mage, and I feel like with a new quest, we will see a lot more Spell Mage coming out. I feel like those are going to be two of the decks to beat.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to trying out this this Warlock, the quest Warlock, to see how quickly you can get the quest reward down and start generating those fell beasts.
Yes. Yeah, those are fun too.
Yep.
Warlock is always fun when it has like portals. We saw a lot of people played was it a Titan that summoned a portal?
Yeah, Sargeras.
Sargeras. So for
Yep.
that same reason, it seems like this portal is going to be very popular as well. But it feels like every class has a fun mechanic. Even some of the quests that don't seem as spicy, like Beast Hunter. Hunter means love Beast Hunter. It's like one of the best, most beloved archetypes. And you have a quest that's having you play beasts of different attack amounts and then giving you more beasts of different attack amounts. So I feel like a lot of classes have a lot of viable decks.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like you said, if you look at each individual card, it's kind of underwhelming. But then when you see the whole picture start to come together, I think this is going to be a really popular expansion.
I agree. Yeah. Plus, it's got like all the fun vibes of returning to Un'Goro. People liked Un'Goro before. People love turtles. People love dragons, and so the theme is really, really fun. And then going back and revisiting some of those rewards from the past with the stories or like with the warrior quest is very nostalgic.
Yeah, we just need to lobby Blizzard to bring McGurgle back into standard.
Yeah, McGurgle is probably going to be an auto include in Murloc Paladin Wild if that happens, right? Because Wild is just so different from standard.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Toucher, for joining us as our special guest today to review all 145 cards of Lost City of Un'Goro. And I wish all of you a fantastic pack opening. And you still have time to earn more pack drops. So we'll make sure that we raid someone who's also doing pack drops. Remember, if you watch for 6 hours, you can get 3 Pegasus packs, 3 Emerald Dream packs, and 4 A Lost City of Un'Goro packs. I believe that's what was published on Blizzard News. And there's still time to enter the giveaway. Thank you, Play Hearthstone. So if you head to my socials, it'll tell you how to enter there. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.